Hi, my name is Jim Connor. I've been a library trustee at a major public library for several years. I've also been traveling these last many years to workshops and conferences across the country, visiting with trustees. I'm part of the Trustee College Consulting Team. One of the most common questions I get is, how do we know when our library board is doing an effective job for our library? A simplistic answer would be to look at your results. Look at the issues that have arisen and see how you've addressed them. Look at the amount of time and work that you and your colleagues on the board have taken to come to this resolution. And then look at the impact that your work has had on the community. But your board effectiveness is more complex than that. I'm a very strong proponent of board self-evaluation because you need to look at how effectively you spend the short amount of time that you have together on a monthly basis. When you use your meeting time together wisely, when you state your positions and come to conclusions, come to consensus when you act to make the library a stronger community institution, then you consider your self-effectiveness. Why is it important for your board to have an evaluation at all? You're called trustees for a reason. You are entrusted with the prime responsibility for the governance and fiscal viability of your public library. You represent your community in providing thoughtful and accountable oversight for the staffing, facilities, programs, and services of the library. You represent the community by ensuring that policies do not discriminate against any segment of the community. If you are truly accountable, then you have an obligation to regularly evaluate your actions and fiduciary responsibilities. When is the best time to evaluate your board? There are varied answers to this question, and successful organizational effectiveness means that the library board and director would initiate a comprehensive review at least once a year. And my suggestion is that such a review be just prior to the start of the planning for the next fiscal year, or when a major event brings concerns of how you're performing your job. I recommend that the board commit one meeting each year to self-evaluation so you can clearly discuss your successes, your challenges, your problems, and your relationship as a board. Just what are you evaluating? What should you be looking at in your evaluation? There are guidelines and questions you can ask of yourself. If you go along to this website, you can find a copy of the questions that I use when I meet my colleagues at library conferences and workshops. Feel free to download the worksheet later and use it as part of your evaluation process. Do you each understand your job descriptions as a trustee? Has your board created a definition of the trustees that summarizes duties, roles, and expectations? If you don't find a definition, then I suggest you take a look at the sample job description that can be found on the Trustee College web and at this website for ALA. Then I would recommend you spend some time at an upcoming meeting working on the definition. Not only will the job description be useful as an ongoing tool, it will also help when the governing authority recruits future board members. Do you know how to collaborate on issues that may be controversial? Not every decision is going to be reached easily or with unanimous vote. You must look at the degree of difficulty in reaching this consensus, the information on which decisions were made, and the resulting impact of the vote on the working relationship of the board members. Are you punctual and prepared for the meetings? The monthly library board meeting is the one event that shows your continuing interest in your appointment as a trustee. When you come to the boardroom table on time and prepared, then you demonstrate your professionalism. Having reviewed the board meeting packet, for the items of today's meeting, having reviewed the minutes of the last meeting for accuracy and clarity, having read an article or two on contemporary public library issues, and focusing the next couple of hours on the business that you have ahead of you, then you will have an opportunity that meeting is going to be successful. Have you established written policy for board ethics and conduct of your meetings? One thing your library director looks for in the library board is consistency. Not consistency in agreeing with the policy changes she or he recommends, or consistency in adopting budget increases she or he has promoted, but the consistency in the processes relating to the decision-making, the delegation of responsibility, and consistency in communications, so that the director isn't surprised with micromanaging initiatives. There is also the issue of board ethics. The Association for Library Trustees and Advocates, ALTA, has an excellent list of ethics for board members. I highly recommend you review them on the ALTA website, and the Trustee College is also prepared to work with you on these issues. It is my view that ethical behavior is the root of library effectiveness. Finally, are you able as individuals to accept the majority vote and speak with one voice as a board? After a vote that may not be unanimous, are you able to regroup, to act as part of the board and act as a team and walk away being able to accept the decisions that were made? Remember, a board always needs to speak with one voice. Nothing hurts board morale and the perception of the library than a trustee who speaks against the board's official policy. Once you complete the evaluation, what's next? You take your evaluation and look at your written policy to see where changes might need to be made. Examine your strategic plan and the operations policy to bring them into compliance with your decisions. Share the evaluations with your library director and solicit their input on how any changes might affect operations and services. Remember, in this process, you are looking at yourselves. You owe it to your library, to your community, to act in the best interests of your library. If that means changes need to be made, make them. Can you do this yourself, or should you have help? And that's your decision. In most cases, you are fully capable of conducting a self-evaluation. The exception might be if you anticipate some animosity or other serious controversy that might prohibit you from conducting an evaluation without a facilitator or a consultant. My personal experience suggests a conversation with your library director and your state library to solicit their view on the possible use of an outside consultant. The important factor is an honest evaluation that tells you how well you work together, where you may need to improve, and how you can best work together for the benefit of the library. There are times when this suggests a good orientation review for all board members. You will find a guide to board self-evaluation at the Trustee College Consulting Team website, and I encourage you to use that tool and other information to strengthen your board efforts. There are many areas that you can get this information from. Just follow through with it. Contact information is listed at this college website if you'd like to discuss board management policy or governance or community leadership. Once you have completed this process, you will have strengthened your board working relationship and effectiveness greatly. I wish you continued success in your leadership and deliberations, and thank you for your attention.